Hello everyone, this is Gabe Nedwick again with my presentation on some of the modern day theories that we learned about this week and last week. One of the first ones that stuck out to me was when we learned about Henri Fayol and his 14 principles of management that he talked about. And one of the ideas that really stuck out to me was his idea of the authority and order that we need to have in management and in places where people are working. I think that still holds true today. We need to have more of a central figure that we can kind of focus on and take orders and direction from, and kind of go from there and go based on some of their knowledge and just their leadership that they show. One of the other things that Fayol talked about that really stuck with me was that idea of the esprit de corps, and it stuck with me in the lecture about if it was something that you would actually like tattoo on your body. And obviously working at Disney for so long, there were a lot of people who were so focused on just Disney as almost a culture that I knew people who had Disney tattoos, things like that, and I don't, but other people did. And another group that I really think of following that would be like some of the armed forces. Some people really relate to that, and it kind of shapes who they are as they go through life. Another one of the theorists that we read about was Max Weber, and one of his main points was that in a bureaucracy there needs to be a well-defined formal hierarchy that you can kind of trace back, knowing where more of the, I guess, bottom level employees are, and then where the head of the corporation is. So you can kind of see that as you look and know where people stand in that order. And another thing that Weber said was that the authority resides in the position or the office, not necessarily with a specific person. And we can see that today in like the office of the president. We don't just focus on one president, and then when we get a new president, we don't focus on the office of the president anymore. Some people don't follow it as closely, but that's one of those situations where we can definitely see that the authority doesn't just reside in that person, but in the office that person is working for. One of the theories that we learned about from Elton Mayo, which he was kind of like Frederick Taylor, where they were monitoring to the employees more closely, but he was noticing that there was an increase in productivity when people were being watched and they knew that they were being watched. I'm not sure I agree with that as much, because it might just be from my experience, but I feel like when people feel like they're under a microscope too much, maybe there's a short period of time where they do perform more, but after a while people don't like to be watched that closely. People like to kind of be able to know that they're trusted for what they're doing and just let them kind of go about and do their thing. So in conclusion, one of the things that Mary Parker Follett talked about was having power with rather than power over, which just makes me think that people like to kind of work alongside of management or leadership. They don't like to feel like they're just being told what to do and they're not being helped along. And Bible verse that makes me think of that is in Matthew 20:25-28. It says, Jesus called them together and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must become your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be your slave, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." So even Jesus says that we should be working alongside of. So that is what I got out of the information for this week. Thanks for watching.